Let's start with who are the people who generally tend to feel drawn towards wanting to learn sound and Nada yoga, sound healing, and become a sound facilitator. Either these are people who have already attended a few sound baths and sound journey kind of sessions and they've loved what they have received and they feel that they want to give it to others. Then there are people who are, let's say, already practicing some kind of a healing modality, maybe like a Reiki or a pranic healing, or they work with tarot or crystals, or a lot of modalities, anything, and they want to kind of add something more. And they've come across sound, and sound feels fascinating to them, or somebody has told them that sound can give you a lucrative career and you can expand your business with sound. Then there are people who are on the spiritual path and they are on their own healing journey and they feel that now they want to be of service to others. They want to have a mission in life. They can't do the regular life and they want some kind of a spiritual business and something more meaningful. Typically, these are the kind of people who will reach out to want to train in sound. Now, is there a difference between sound healing, sound bath, sound meditation, sound journey? What are you signing up for? What are you going to be training in? Because a group sound bath session is different from what we call a sound healing session. Okay. At least for me, there is a subtle nuance, and I think a lot of great facilitators that I know of and I've seen online, they all have this clear distinction where they do not address themselves as healers and they refrain from calling their sessions healing. Others might imply that on me. Like, for example, if somebody is saving my number, taking my number, and they might save it as Sonia Sound Healer. That's not in my control. I cannot do anything about it. But do I go out and call myself a sound healer? No. Do I sometimes use the word sound healing in my sessions? Yes. Why? Because it's a good search word. People can find it easily. Okay. Now, the reason it got the term sound healing is because of what people felt in these sessions, what happened to them during these sessions. It's not something that the facilitators or the practitioners have given, but it's given by people based on what they took from these sessions, what they felt, what happened to them in these sessions, and that's how eventually it grew and the term sound healing, came into picture. But nobody ever claimed that sound is at least not in a traditional sense of healing. Okay, which brings us to this question of healing is different from curing, right? You have a problem, you have a headache, and you take a tablet is not the same as healing. Healing is not linear. Healing is not, like there's no one direction to healing. Healing is your overall aspect. Healing is so subjective. What you find healing is not necessarily healing for the other person. So there is a lot of sensitivity in the terminology that is used, the kind of vocabulary that is used around this particular modality. There's always debate happening, people wondering like why is sound does any healing versus people who claim that sound does a lot of healing. Now in my practice, I've had people who have gone through a lot of addiction, a lot of grief, depression, those kind of things, and I work with them a lot. And even from the beginning, I wanted to bring that healing aspect more into the sound. That was an intentional agenda I had, that because I wanted to see the depth that sound had. I wanted to see where all can we go. Now, do I say if you have diabetes, come and I'll cure your diabetes? No, I don't. But does that mean if a diabetes patient comes and we kind of work with them and identify all the areas of their life that they are hating about and energetically work with their self-worth, self-image, and different aspects of their life, and will that trickle down into the body and help with the whole system? Possible, right? Like, now, will sound heal, cure cancer? Maybe, maybe not. But will sound give some relief to person who is going through chemotherapy? Absolutely. They can put somebody in that relaxed state where their current medicine or their treatment will be more effective, will work better for them. So that's a possibility. A lot can happen when the body is put into deep states of rest, when your mind isn't just resting in awareness. A lot can happen. And that's where it gets the whole terminology of sound healing, because sound can do that. These instruments can do that. Now, why do these instruments do that? Because you cannot describe them. We have a tendency of giving meaning to everything around us. And when you listen to these sounds, these tones, these overtones, the harmonics, you can't give them meaning. You cannot describe them. So there is a part of us that kind of lets go, that kind of surrenders, that kind of settles in. Sometimes it gets finicky as well. Sometimes it will increase hyperactivity. All kinds of cases are available. If I'm doing a session with a group of 10 people, one person will get up and be like, okay, it was great, I feel good. One will be like crying their eyes out. One will be feeling like pain in their body. One will probably gone to all different layers of cosmic and whatnot. Somebody sees something else and comes out. Somebody has some clarity in one session, same facilitator, same instrument, but different effect. So what happens to a person is subjective. How they receive is subjective. A lot of times it depends on their emotional state, where they're at, and how much you can handle. Now, the kind of people you will get for your session are people who are going through what you have gone through. So basically, you are meeting your past versions in most cases, most of the time. They are bringing out, every person who's coming to you is basically bringing an attribute of your past version. And it's a way for you to see how you show up for them, how you handle that. Because literally, you're basically handling yourself. You're showing up for yourself. The depths of what you have met in you is what the kind of people who will come to you. So if your training is on the physical level of relaxation, of resting stress free, sleep better, and if your entire training is on that level, you will be playing on this level. You will never be able to go beyond it. It's only going to be about the technique, the brain, maybe a little bit about the nervous system, and that there's nothing more going to open up or come into your sessions. They are not going to be healing sessions. They're going to be sound bath, they're going to be sound journeys, they could be sound meditation, where nothing is really opening up and activating for these people. They are coming to you so that they can relax, so they can unwind, something new, because people need to choose their tools. People need different tools. Some people like touch, so they go for massages. Some people don't like touch, they will find something else. Some people find cooking therapy, some people find knitting therapeutic. So different people have different things that relaxes them, and sound is becoming one of those new things for people that they find relaxing and they like going, and maybe like a once in a week activity, instead of going for movies and popcorns and dinners and all those things. You go for sound sessions for your overall well-being. So it becomes like a new practice, and that could be a space, a segment that you're in, where your sessions, your training and your sessions are only in that space of relaxing and resting and rejuvenation and all of those things. Okay, if that's your angle, if that's your agenda, maybe you want to stop this right here. And for that, you don't need a lot. You can just enter that space. You can train from someone, you know the techniques, and you will keep learning. The more you practice, the better you get, and you focus on your business, or you can get into corporates, wellness, and that will be your space. This is where the course ends for you. If you want to enter into the healing aspect, if you want to understand, if you are on a healing journey, and from this healing journey you feel now you need to go into the healer's timeline. It's like you've been on the strain of healing, and now you are shifting your train and going into the healer's train. Then what happens? And now it's for you.